Welcome back to my podcast, Progressive Mindset, a show and a place that is positive, offers inspiration, and is full of energy. Or so I hope. I'm your host, Natalie, and today I'm going to be talking about values. So when I take you back to my first episode, I started exploring values a little bit in there, but I really thought actually this holds an episode in itself. There is so much that I can talk about values, and so much of everything I do is underpinned by knowing my values and what's important to me in life. And in 2015, I was going through that kind of searching my purpose in life, looking at things and what I wanted to do, and just felt that I really hadn't tapped into my purpose, my why, and really understood this. And I was asked by a coach, what are your values? And I really struggled. I couldn't really articulate what was, and I was focusing on things that were maybe more social idealism and what we think we need to be saying, love, gratitude, those types of things. And it's not that they're not important, but we sometimes feel we've got to say those. And I just wasn't aware of how important this was. And it's a little bit like recently I've realised that you have these moments and these ideas and you think, well, why didn't I see it like that before? If I'd have seen that 6 months ago, I'd be in a completely different place now. And we can often give ourselves a hard time about this. And I think that it's important to remember that things show up at different times for different reasons, or we'll choose to see them in different ways. And that's life. And it's important, like I said, not to give yourself a hard time about it, and tap into it when it's there. Become aware of it. Raise your awareness to what's happening around you. And that evolved into me looking to this. And when I say this, I mean coaching. And that's how the academy came about for me, because I then went out there and explored, well, what coaching would I want to do? What qualification would I want to do? I've got a big thing about being very credible and having integrity of what I do. So, I went in search of the right journey for me and being with the right place to learn about coaching. So your values define you, and you have to surround yourself with people who reflect your values and be honest when you aren't living life according to yours. We all talk a good game, but we sometimes show up differently in the world. And a key question to really ask yourself is, who are you when no one else is watching? Become the best version of yourself. And this is my purpose. I used to have a purpose. I thought that it was around, helping others. And of course I have the importance of my business in helping others understanding their purpose and successfully taking action to create lives, that are full of energy, joy, and they're positive and they're taking action. That's a key area of where I focus on and wanting to help people. But ultimately, it's probably again recently kind of dawned on me that my biggest purpose is to become the best version of myself, and to know that it's not when or if I get there or being perfect now. It's about being okay, about being on a journey that I'm on and learning, growing, developing as a human, and really seeing that in a different way, and waking up every day and loving every day, not feeling that I've got to go to work. I remember seeing this clip the other day of a lady who's going back to work soon, and she was doing a funny video. It was quite funny because obviously she's drinking wine and saying about, going to work, waking up in the morning, slapping on the makeup, grabbing the breakfast, jumping on the train, being sardined on the train, going to work, getting home at 10, quickly getting some food in, going to bed, and then doing it all again the next day. And it kind of dawned on me. I was like, yeah, that is often how we can robotically live our lives. And for me, that's just not what I want for me. And it's empowering others to see that they can do the life that they want and create the life that they want. It comes from them making that choice, and it comes from them knowing their values. And I think it's important to look at these things, and certainly some of these show up on my business values as well. But predominantly, it's important that you really take time to think about this. Take a moment to ask yourself, what is my story? And what connects you with others? It's not your race, your religion, your sex. It is your story and you that connects you with others. The relationships you have, your values, your memories. You need to tap into this and you need to connect to it. And exploring your values is done by asking some powerful questions. So these are, what fills most of your space? What do you think about most of the time? Who inspires you, and what is it they do that inspires you? What is it they say? How is it they are in how they show up? How do you spend your time? So, what are the first three things that you think about every single day when you get out of bed? Where are you most energized? Is it helping others and giving back? Is it getting to the gym 3 times a week? Is it making sure you live your life and you're quite healthy with the food you eat? Is it making sure that you spend time with your kids every single day, or you spend all your weekend time with them? What is it that energizes you? Where do you spend most of your money? And this is a really important one for me, because years ago in my 20s, I used to be quite materialistic, and I thought that having a nice car would define me, rocking up to a meeting with that beautiful bag would define me, and having nice clothes and the brands and all of that was, that created me. And for me now, looking back, it doesn't. I like nice things and I work hard for them, but they don't define me as a person. They don't make me feel, I think when I buy something now, I'm really conscious that it's for that moments of instant gratification. It's, a moment of that feels good now. But the next day I'm like, right, what's next? So I really recognise that in myself with where I spend my money now. And I think it's important that we tap into challenging that a lot more with other people about, do you really need that? What's it serving you? And for me, one of the biggest things I love now is just investing most of my money back into my business, or investing in my where I want to put more downtime, because I know I find it really, really hard to switch off. So I focus on making sure, I would go for a spa day with a friend, or I do go to the cinema every single week. In my books, I love reading, so I invest quite a bit of money in there, and working with different people who inspire me to become better every day on my journey. So the last 18 months I've invested in a coach, because I know that the journey that I take is got much more momentum and is at pace, and they hold me account to things, and I love that. I love the feeling I get from that, and I've recognized the difference in tapping into a feeling brings me positivity and keeps me focused on my goals and kind of where I'm working towards. And then you need to really think about kind of where you're most organized, where are you disciplined, what is it you love to learn and read about. I've definitely noticed a difference in the fact of looking at discipline and motivation. And I'll take the example of the gym, because it's always so easy for me to draw upon. I am not motivated to go and work out 5 times a week. I don't rock up every session and absolutely love it. Some of them I think, I just want to get this done. But I am disciplined, and I do know that it is important for me to do those things to get me to where I want to get to in terms of my goals or what I'm working towards, or to feel every day that I feel good. I know that going to the gym makes me feel good, and I want to feel good every day. So I will do that every single day. It's that simple in terms of you break it down like that. But you need to think about where you're most disciplined with things. And then you can think about where you're most wanting to learn. So is this around, kind of the business that you're in, or is it other things? What is it? And you might not know the answers to these questions, and that's great as well, because then you can go and explore them, and you can look at, what is it I need to learn about within this? And I think one thing I've looked at is the circle I've got around me. I used to have a really big network of friends, and I don't anymore. I have a small circle, and, we really support one another, and we talk about the same things, we resonate, and it kind of goes back to the start, is that we kind of tap into the same stories, and we share the same values as friends, and in my family, we share the same values, and these things are really important to me. And what do you think about in terms of, how do you visualize being? What do you visualize doing? What do you visualize having in life? When you start to ask these questions, you'll see similarities, and you'll see the same themes coming through. And then that's the moment when you need to kind of take time and note it down, reflect on it, and think about, well, where are the similarities? What's going on here? What is this telling me? What am I noticing and seeing show up all the time? Is it family? Is it work? Is it the gym? Is it holidays and spending time away and getting some switch off time, what are these really important things? Is it that you do quite like having nice materials and things? Nothing's right or wrong. Be honest about that, because that's you. But it is really important to understand this. So values help us grow. They help you create a future and reflecting how you not only treat yourself, but how you treat others. And we make a choice every single day to choose how we spend our days. And we do, even when we don't think or feel like this is a choice, it is. So define your priorities, define your values, and then you can start creating life that you want on your terms every day. And this probably sounds quite corny, but I quite like that, because I know that actually by exploring it and stepping stones, breaking it down, bring it into a reality for me and building on it every single day and just becoming more aware of what it means to me, then I start to create the days that I want. It's not overnight, and you do have to have patience and you do have to go on a journey with it, but it can definitely pay off. And I definitely know the difference it's made for me just by knowing my values. And sometimes they say you should look at them every 6 months, some people every year. I'll probably do a review and kind of go through asking myself these questions every year. And actually, they haven't really changed in the last 3 years for me. I know for others that can be different. And of course, it's going to be different. So you might get to, in 10 years' time, it might be that I thought more around family in the future and things like that, compared to at the moment where I'm quite more work focused. So they will naturally change. And that's good. That's great. That's where you want it to be as well. Don't put pressure on yourself to think it's got to be something else. Do what's right for you. So that kind of wraps up where I feel around values. I'm really conscious that sometimes podcasts can go for a long time, and I know that I don't always have the attention to stick at things, which is good. I know how I work, and I think that, when we kind of do bite size and have them a bit more kind of bursts, then we keep people's attention more. And, if people want to come back, they come back for more. Exactly the same as we do, people who inspire us. But there we go. So again, a huge thank you for spending your time with me today. And please share if it can benefit someone, because that's what's really important, is that you kind of help others. So be sure to connect with me on all my platforms. I'm on Natalie Potts Coaching. Share any thoughts, queries, questions, go for it, and become part of my Facebook group. So again, like anything, it's building. But what I love about it is that it's like-minded individuals on there, all empowering one another, inspiring. There's definitely no negativity. I'm really not about that. But it is about helping people and being realistic as well. I think you can have realism and be positive without needing to be negative. So as a huge thank you for your commitment to listening to my podcast, and to celebrate the launch of this, the first 5 episodes, I will be giving one listener a free disc profile test and a coaching session myself if they leave a review of the podcasts. So thank you very much for listening. And if you would love to do that, I would be very appreciative. Other than that, I will see you on the next episode. Have a great day.